Take charge of your real estate future with HomeForce, the all-in-one home buying service built specifically for Ultimate players, their friends, and their families. Powered by the Ultimate Lending Team, HomeForce was engineered by Ultimate players for Ultimate players. It's your one-stop shop for everything real estate. Let Jim Nolte and his team at HomeForce quarterback the whole process or jump in just where you need help. Follow at Ultimate Living Colorado on Instagram.
Welcome to Season 3 of Pod Practice with Team USA player Quinn Finer, Team USA Grandmaster player Mikey Lunn, and myself, Alex Atkins. You can now find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and anywhere you listen to your podcasts. We want to keep growing the Pod Practice community, so reach out to us with your thoughts on IG and YouTube at podpractice_pod, or email us at show@podpracticepod.com. I hope you enjoyed the episode.
Well, it was just crazy because I was like, the disc just looks like it's flying weird. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a piece of
Dude,
fucking poop, dude.
You definitely gotta stop. You gotta get used to it, man.
There's no getting used to a piece of poop.
All right, we just finished week 4 of the UFA season, heading into week 5. We got our boy Will Laurie back on to give us some thoughts, some outside perspective. Kins is at a conference, which is a little unbelievable that he has any professional obligations.
Working man.
He's at a conference.
Who would hire that guy?
Yeah, but before we get rolling into how our road trip woes, reminder to sign up for our college fantasy ultimate.
Hell yeah.
We'll link that in the description below and wherever on our socials, but definitely join. We have a number of entries. What I'm seeing is so far not a lot of diversity in picks. They're definitely probably enough variants, but
good
I feel like
if
you signed up and just went different, you have probably a good shot of beating everybody. And Bailey DM'd us, Bailey Shigley, and told us we need to be on the lookout for Faye. And I'm actually blanking on Faye's last name right now.
Quandary?
Yeah. And so Bailey, get your entry in because...
Yeah, I was going to say, did she put an entry in? I can't.
Yeah, she said she was going to, but she hasn't yet. Deadline is Thursday. Is it Thursday?
Thursday at 11:59 p.m.
p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we move on to the Massacre?
The Massacre.
Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Quinn, you were the only one of us there.
Unfortunately.
Walk us through what it was like.
Yeah. I'll start with the Houston game, obviously. But first off, they did play. They played well. They took what we gave them, and they were really comfortable in their dump sets. They did the right thing. They definitely gave us the ball, plenty for us to do something with it. Of course, we didn't, but they did play well. So not taking anything away from them. But that might have been the worst game the Summit has ever put out, at least that I've been a part of. I wasn't on some of the road trips last year that didn't go well, but it was, playing on grass is pretty awesome. But it was just
oh, that was a grass field?
Yeah, it was a grass field. It's pretty sweet.
That must be nice. Yeah, it must be
really
tough
nice
to just play on a bazillion turf high school stadiums.
My body felt better on Saturday after playing on grass than it ever has after an AUDL game that I ran a lot in. So that's, I don't know if that's because of the grass or what, but it was a pretty stiff wind for the first 3 quarters probably. And to be honest, we weren't prepared to play in the wind. We weren't prepared to play at sea level in the wind with the new Frisbee. And maybe I'm projecting, but that's how I felt. And they just junked us up to death, basically. But honestly, they just outplayed us in every way. They outworked us. They outplayed us. They outprepared us. They They were just better than us. Like, I'm sure we came in with like a little bit of entitlement, thinking like, oh, it's Houston,
100%.
we're just gonna beat them, and like they're still a solid team. It's not like they're just some horrible team that can't play frisbee. Like, they have big athletes, they have quite a few skilled throwers, and that's what happened. Though we just shite the bed, basically. Unfortunately.
Well, yeah, I mean, from the outside perspective, I'm trying to pull up the game stats here. Like, how many drops did we? Like, we just literally did not.
Yeah, I mean, we couldn't catch, we couldn't throw. I like personally, like it was. I think I had 3 turns in that game, and like I don't know. I hang my hat on not turning the disc and completing my hucks, and I couldn't very well. And this is kind of a theme for both games. Like I didn't play well. I was very mid, which sucks.
It was kind of interesting. I feel like watching it actually kind of is a theme in both the Dallas and the Houston game, but the just those slow starts. I think
Yeah,
it's
man.
really hard in the more kind of UFA I've watched. I think if you really do give up a cushion early in the game, and I mean I think
It's a
this carries
theme that's
into.
been happening to us too, even with as Bravo
Yeah.
from Nationals, right? And by the way,
Yeah,
I'm seeing we had 6 drops.
Jesus.
It's a lot of drops. 18 throwaways.
yeah, 24 turns overall. And I think those early deficits, it's kind of interesting because yeah, if even in USA Ultimate stuff, if you go down 3 or 4 breaks early, it's actually so hard to claw your way out. I think UFA it's maybe a little easier to come back because the
Definitely.
time there's more
Definitely.
time,
Mm-hmm.
and you can kind of see those momentum swings happen throughout the game. But
But it
it did.
changes your style of play, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely need to bail because then all of a sudden, yeah, you're bailing water out of the boat, and I think if you just like look at some of the stats just as far as hucking, like I think Summit in the past has also been like a very effective hucking team, and shooting 8 for 14 isn't terrible, but it's
It's
not.
pretty bad.
Yeah, it's not kind of what you'd hope to get that probably over 75%. I would guess, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the league average historically has been right around 60% on hucks, and ideally we're above that.
But yeah, but I mean, we're talking like Central Division windy fucking games. We're talking South Division windy games. Like,
oh, there's actually the one other thing that I thought that kind of jumped out to me from the game was just the like I don't think that you guys got a break for the first
three
two and a
quarters.
half quarters. Yeah,
I think
3 quarters.
I
It
think it
wasn't until
happened.
the fourth.
I think our first break in the Houston game was in the fourth quarter, and I think like this game is like I blame myself and the O line for most of this game, but we did not apply defensive pressure in this game as well. We just kind of, like I said in the beginning, like we played a switchy type of D, and Houston was really comfortable just taking negative
The
and
open guy.
swings and taking the open guy and not making mistakes in those like quote unquote easy throws. Like they did a really good job of that, and that's really what like killed us on the defensive side of the ball.
And it seemed like every time we had an opportunity to get a break, it was
We
like
couldn't, yeah.
first throw
Turn,
away,
yeah, throw away, drop.
second throw drop.
Yeah. Yeah, they got me at 4 turns on the Houston game. I think I had 3, but they got me at 4. I think these 2 games for me,
You probably deserve 4.
yeah, I probably
We
deserve
both-
4. Yeah, like I don't think I've ever had this bad of a completion percentage in a game, and I did it twice this weekend. So
Over here at Pod Practice, we are excited to announce that we are partnering with Greatest Bag to provide you with all of your ultimate bag needs. If you're looking to get a new ultimate bag, head on over to greatestbag.com. And if you use code PodPractice10, you will receive 10% off your purchase.
And was there just like, did you feel like it was the win more? Or did you think it was like the new disc? What was kind of?
I don't want to make excuses, but if I were to, I think it's a combination of
So
sea level, wind, and disc.
My observation from afar, and maybe I'll give a quick one, and we can talk about the Austin game quickly, or as well. Hear your thoughts on that. But to me, it seemed like you were over eager to get the disc in pretty low value areas, like coming straight negative to the disc, like 10 yards away. It didn't feel like you were comfortable leaving the hand, especially after we went down and when we were no longer, like when we weren't doing a great job of connecting to the downfield. And I'm sure a lot of that's just internal subconscious, like I have to go make a play, like I have to go be a big thrower. But when you're at your best, it's when you are making longer, like sweeping cuts, big gainers, when you're able to stretch deep.
We couldn't hit them.
Yeah. So if we're not able to hit those,
then I do that, and
right. You're playing a different style than what suits your strengths and our team strengths.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, no, you nailed it.
I also think that is hard in one of those. That's something else or part of the reason that I never really wanted to play UFA is just these like big spaces. Like I think it's really hard in the big spaces when things do get bogged down or when people do get tired. All of a sudden, to actually work it up the field, the most efficient way obviously is these large chunking gains or hucks. But when you get tired, the most practical way to move it up is just these small 10-yard little passes. And some of the best, offenses I think Truck Stop's offense is good, or the Breeze's offense is good in this type of situation because they're used to chunking it up the whole way. But if you're used to playing more of a open space style that does rely on larger yard gains, when it's not working, I think it becomes really counterintuitive and it feels really hard.
Yeah.
And I also felt like you guys were swinging a lot. Like there's a good amount of lateral movement that would then
didn't lead to anything,
not translate into a larger downfield thing.
Definitely.
Stagnant swings. Yeah. 2-yard dumps where you're basically in the same position.
Yeah.
Also, new team though. New like have new handlers playing into new roles.
Sure, but those are just excuses. So we played poorly. Your offensive thought is I've been meaning to break down. There's a New York versus the Breeze. And actually, it was New York's offense, not the Breeze offense, that I was really interested in breaking down from last year because they have the drone view for like the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually watching the broadcast of the Glory against New York this past weekend, and Toner mentioned that the Glory coaches really identified New York's flat side offense, which we often call wide side. But New York is very, very good at that. And my imagination, I assume it's because they've had Jack on the team, who is had a lot of North Carolina roots, and North Carolina just relentlessly attacks that wide lane, that flat side lane, and butterflies makes space for another person that just fills over and over and over. And eventually, if you hit one of them, then you have that one-on-one downfield on the break side of the field. And I think that offense, that style with a big sweeping space in the UFA, it works really, really well. And anyway, that's sort of a tangent, but maybe I will try to break that video down and get your thoughts on it as well.
Yeah.
So tell us about the Austin game.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, definitely a bounce back game in a way.
Tell us briefly, actually, what were the vibes like between Houston and Austin?
Oh man, to be honest, I don't know the team vibes too much because I was pretty
isolated.
Yeah, I was pretty upset. yeah, I was pretty upset with myself and just in general. So my vibes were maybe the worst ever after like more like probably just about as close to as bad as it's ever been after a game or after a tournament for me, to be completely honest.
We've had
So
some rough ones too, so that's saying
yeah,
something.
yeah. I mean, and maybe I was too hard on myself, but I just kind of felt like I was letting everybody down a bit, and that didn't feel great. So bad. But I think a lot of people, by the time we got to like Austin, was kind of turned it around a little bit. But because the vibes going into the Austin game were good. And honestly, like it was a bounce back game. Like we didn't play a complete game, but we did play well. And Austin is like they're a very good team.
Mark Henke looks like one of the best
dude
5 players
Dude,
in the
he
game
was
right
very impressive.
Yeah, we can talk.
Kyle Henke. Mark
Both
is
of them.
also good.
Both of them.
Both the Hankies were they were balling.
That's actually we'll talk about both of them later. But yeah, no, Austin's good. Like they're missing Joey Wiley, one of their heaviest offensive contributors, and they were still very, very solid. So they're good, and we had a bounce back game. We played pretty well. Like I said, not complete, but the disc in that stadium at sea level, and with the wind in that stadium is, for me, I don't even know. I don't know how long it would take me to feel comfortable throwing a huck. Like I literally would need a couple hours of just throwing hucks to feel comfortable throwing a huck in that stadium consistently.
I mean, this is if you're looking at the stats, this was just like a good old fashioned battle here. 27 turnovers for the Summit, 25 for the Soul.
Dude.
6 for 20 on hucks for the Summit, 5 for 15 for the Soul.
It was so hard. It was so difficult. Like
dude, it's crazy.
Not only to throw it, but to read it is like, like my mind was actually fucking blown, to be honest.
I think Quinn, there might be I think there's a huck that you threw in this one, and this is more.
I'll remember it
about the wind and also the new disc. But I think you like threw your flick
up the right sideline to Jay, and it just didn't come back in.
Yeah,
yeah. So it's like 15-15 at this point, and we're on offense, and there was no upwind downwind in the stadium. It was basically a tornado.
Pure swirl.
It was fucking insane. I catch it on the right sideline, and this is literally my throw. This is the only reason I'm good at fucking Frisbee. And I throw this up the sideline. I'm like this, and when it leaves my hand, I'm like, that is perfect. That is such a good throw. It just does not turn over ever. It goes straight and then tails right out of bounds, which is the opposite of what a Frisbee should do. In the wind, it's inexplicable. If I caught it there 10 times, I would throw the exact same throw every single time.
I'm really curious. We need to talk to other throwers.
I need to throw this disc too.
No,
that's
you
what
don't.
I was thinking. Well,
I definitely the wind. I know. So my teammate, Coach Joe Iannacone, he runs the offense. He was with me in Denver though this weekend because we had a practice weekend for Walker, for Johnny Walker, the Grandmasters team. He said the stadium is very swirly and very unpredictable.
Yeah, and the disc, I don't know if this is what they were trying to do with the disc. It is easier to throw farther in the wind, but my number one issue with it is the inconsistency. And I think you could talk to a lot of people and they would agree. The disc, you could throw when I tell you the exact same throw 2 times in a row, and it will do something different in terms of the way it pops up, the way it drops, or the way it travels. It is going to be different.
And so what that means is it's just more impacted by the elements then, right?
But it travels farther.
Wind.
Yeah, it's like when I throw an ultra star in the wind, at least I can know what it's doing. It's hard to throw farther, but I know what's going to happen with it.
Yeah.
I bet that the league has not really considered I think that they wanted to get the rights to a mold
Yeah.
that existed so they could have their own and sell it. And even Discraft they continue to iterate the Ultrastar. Like Bart gets a batch of different molds every once in a while. And he tests them and gives them feedback. So hopefully something like that with the UFA.
I don't know. Yeah.
Disc also happens.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I think they've also again, like I haven't played really in the pro, but it is funny just how many different discs I think there have been at this point. Like there's like the one that
3
was
in
the
the last
MLU
3
played
years.
with, and then there's the
Innova
Aria,
one,
and then
yeah.
there's the Innova. Yeah. So it's just kind of, I think that also is maybe something. I don't know. Something for them to
Definitely.
consider is just trying to have the same disc year in, year out, so that
we
there
got this one
isn't
for
an
3 years
adjustment.
now. So
All right, well there you go. You're so you don't know how long it'll take you.
but
to
when
be
I go
able to-
play club, then it's completely forget about it.
all the way back.
Yeah, I'm very frustrated with the disc, but like again, like that's not the reason we lost. It's
Definitely not.
It's not like
No, yeah.
I'm frustrated with it. Everybody's playing with the same disc. It's not the reason we lost. We were unprepared. But to kind of talk about the Austin game, it was kind of just a slugfest. Like both teams played pretty well. Both teams had lulls. Both teams had highs.
Another slow start.
Another slow start for the Summit, but we kind of clawed back.
Yeah. Quarter 2 was better.
Yeah, and it just like our defensive pressure was way better. Like we played well on defense. We were able to move the ball decently on defense. But that team is the Austin team is built really well. Like they have enough throwers. Like I would say they're kind of thrower light on D, but they have enough to make it work. And then the rest of the dudes on D are just like really fucking good athletes. And so they're built really well. And yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I will, Mikey, you go ahead.
I mean, end of quarters killed us, right? That game.
That was the difference. The end of quarter.
I think they scored at the end of the second quarter
and the third.
Yeah, I'm forgetting. Did we receive first and third or second and fourth? Do you remember?
First and third.
First and third. So I think it was an end of quarter 2. We had the disc.
We turned it with like 20 seconds left, and then they scored.
I think it was something like that. Was that the one? Was that the one Hanky caught the hammer? Or
I think that was a different one. That was
the one where he caught the one on the sideline. Then
that was a fun. Yeah, the sideline. The Reese Bowman flick up the right sideline, and Hanky towed it.
It was a nasty,
crazy
grab.
Catch. Yeah, the hammer.
I was watching on a little phone, so I couldn't really see it very well.
The hammer one was funny. I think Brandon Dial threw it. I'm pretty convinced he wasn't trying to throw it to Hanky. He was like looking at the guy at the back of the end zone and like threw it like forward like a blade at the guy at the back of the end zone, and the disc just like literally took a right turn to Hanky, who was just like happened to be that. Yeah.
I was definitely pissed watching that, just because it's like why do we not have a body around Kyle Hanky, the best player in the field? Yeah. I'm sure we were tired and everything, but my armchair coaching from 1,000 miles away was not pleased.
I mean, yeah.
I will say on that, I remember that. I think that was a grinding point, like the end, that last or like long possession or something where there hadn't been a timeout, but everyone looked gassed. Like on that last. Sure. I think it might have been Spencer who's guarding Kyle on that.
I think it's Hunter, yeah.
Hunter May. Yeah.
Who is a beast.
I was very impressed with him throughout, especially just because I'd talked to you guys a little bit before.
Yeah.
And he's so new as well to the competitive game. But that was one where I just saw, I think Kyle might have thrown it off the line, and then it just kind of went to a perfect spot, but you could tell that nobody like Hunter or even Kyle. Like Kyle, I think
Kyle
put
looked
his
surprised.
hands-
He was like,
well,
"Oh,
and he immediately put, like I'm pretty sure he went to the sideline and was like hands on knees. Everybody looked gassed. Like,
Yeah.
after that
he did." He
And-
sat down and was like heaving. Yeah.
yeah. So that was. I mean, I it just looked like everybody was dog tired on that. But yeah, you'd like to have someone within 5 feet, 10
And we
feet.
shouldn't ignore that it was literally 100 degrees.
Yeah,
And
you had some heat breaks. Right?
Whatever. It was literally like over 98 or something like that. And whatever humidity it was. I know I cramped for like
a couple times, right?
a couple times.
Dude, there were a few times when we took some tough deep shots to you and you got clobbered.
Dude.
You came up with your hat off and like your hands, like, and your face is just like, oh my god,
I'm dead. Like, yeah.
So we did go up 12-10. We went down big. We went up 12-10, had the disc, opportunity to go up 13-10. And I think these are the times when it's like a really fatiguing weekend and high stress where we have to claw back.
Yeah.
That's when like Noah gets sped up, right? Like, because Noah can be a little like Russell Westbrooky.
He talked about this. He talked about this about him, yeah.
Right? Like Noah's the best athlete
ever
on the field, probably. Like and an incredible player.
Yes.
With very good throws.
Yeah.
But when he gets sped up and it's just his heart rate's up,
we were talking about
he kind of loses his mind a little bit.
His brain is one step ahead of his body. Yeah.
Yeah. My little 2 cents on that would be it's something that I've had the benefit of playing with Noah I played with Noah all through college, and I think that is something that I see just where the turnovers that he'll have are often just kind of he takes kind of that last little bit of intentionality out of it, right at like the moment of
release,
either making a throw or he's already decided what he's going to do as he's like catching the disc, and then the result is kind of this. He'll just kind of throw something that doesn't have a lot of spin, and it doesn't quite account for all the conditions that are going on. But so then you'll have some of these turnovers that are more. I wouldn't say it's lazy, because I don't think it's necessarily laziness. I just think it's more kind of a letdown of attention for half a second, and then the result is a turnover. And I think those are really tough, because if he just took maybe half a second more to gather that throw or something, then it would be fine. But I also think in the UFA is kind of an interesting mix where sometimes you have these more high turnover games. I was looking around at some of the other box scores, and I think plus 20 turnovers is a lot, but it sometimes feels like in the UFA games that when both teams are just turning it over, the turnovers are just kind of coming fast and loose. They feel cheap. And then there are these moments where all of a sudden when a turnover gets punished, that's where
it's like,
all of a sudden you're like, oh shit.
It does matter.
Yeah, they do matter. They're not, all of a sudden they're not coming as easily. And I definitely noticed that.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, there's quite a few moments that stick out in this game. The 2 end of quarter situations, which we lost by 2. My huck to Jay that we talked about that didn't come back in. My like awkward layout drop from Keenan in the end zone.
Oh, that was tragic. That was a tragic one.
You had your hand on that one?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
2 hands on it. Yeah. I went to clap it and then it like popped, so I tried to like catch it normal, and then I ended up just like barely making a fucking play at it.
It looked like it hurt.
It hurt so bad, dude. We could talk about the worst turf burn ever that I have on my arm right now and later, but those 2 moments, like I need to make that, like I need to catch that deep shot. I did not make plays this weekend, especially in the Austin game. Like there was like 3 plays that I just have to make, and I didn't make them. So, but that one, right off a timeout, Kins threw me a backhand.
Yeah.
The disc didn't come back in because I had space vertically and horizontally to the right, and Kins threw it, and it just traveled forward. It just kept going forward. So Powell, I think is Noah Powell, I think he was able to just like be closer to me, even though I had horizontal and vertical space.
That dude looked fast.
He's fast as fuck.
Very fast.
He's very fucking fast. Lie. He's definitely faster than me, to be honest. But like that, like that's a completion regardless. If that disc just doesn't, like if Kins gets it back into the middle, like we talked about it,
just fades it. Yeah,
it went forward and then faded left. It's just the opposite.
When I throw hucks, because I only play USAU with a disc at an Ultra Star. Yeah. All of them, I fade all of them, every single one of them. I don't throw a huck if I can't do that.
Yeah. Like I'm literally running a little bit towards the middle, even because I'm expecting it. Like everybody, like elite players, like, that's what you're expecting. And so when it just goes forward, I had to like adjust and come left. And he's fast as fuck, and he made that like a good play.
You can pressure the angle, yeah. And that is really interesting.
Yeah, like I went massive for it and got just paid for it so bad. I'm telling you. I paid for it. Like
you lost a couple tattoos. It looks
like so badly.
Holy shit, man!
Oh, that's gnarly.
Yeah, because I went like chin high with my right hand, and I kind of like clipped him a little bit with my left, and it got stuck under me, and I landed on it and just like ripped and then I double calf cramped and.
Good Lord.
Yeah, I mean,
that did look. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that one. That
one. And then I got absolutely demolished by the 88 on Austin on like a deep shot. Like he wasn't trying to. That just came from the backside. That's the one you were talking about where my hat was off and I was like just like delirious,
dazed and confused. Yeah.
And then I bid for that Keenan one and just fucking dug my face into the ground and
it looked rough. Man.
I had like 12 people text me. He's like, Are you okay? Like you look.
Are you all right?
You look like you're in. I'm like, no, I'm not. But in my honestly, this game was like, I think it came down to just like their stars making plays and our stars not. To be fucking honest, and it's like me.
You, Kins, Noah.
It's just like our stars not making the plays we need to make, and their stars doing enough. Like Kyle had 5 turns, but I still think he was plus something. Like he was
every big play. He made every big play.
Yeah, he had that like one like little drop on that huck, but that was like he's making a lot. He's making a lot of plays. Like
he caught a bunch of hucks. Like I'm looking at his little.
There was one he like kind of dropped. It was tight. Dude, he had 5 turns, but he was still a plus fucking 4.
It's more like the percentage, like
he's making
and also
enough,
he caught a couple hucks in the first quarter. Like that was kind of the other thing is when they got their little lead got the 3-point lead in the first, it was kind of just a lot of momentum. They did a good job of building momentum, and then even when you guys kind of got it back, it never felt like they were fully out of it. And then I think, like you kind of said, it's really hard when, kind of just looking at the turnovers. It's like Kins had 6, you had 4, Keenan had 4, and then Noah had 3. So it's just hard if you have like some of your highest touch dudes
exactly
having a lot of turnovers.
If we're not making plays on top of it.
Yeah. How it looked like how have you liked playing with Keenan? It looks like I see you trying to feed the big man. It looks like this disc needs to.
It's great. It's great if
cooperate more.
I love playing with Keenan. Keenan's really good, and I just can't. I can't reward him for anything right now. I think I threw 4 hucks to him, and then maybe one, completed 1, and they
kept dying.
They were all my fault.
He looks fun to play with though.
He's great.
Great presence.
He's got good vibes too.
Yeah, he's got really good vibes. I mean, damn.
Oh, one question I do have.
Yeah.
Was it tough when they hit the rowboat celebration back after
I
the
didn't even
dub.
see that.
Oh
yeah,
shit, dude!
that to like end the game.
No way. I didn't even see it.
Yeah, dude.
That's
They
funny.
yeah, they won and they all hit like a giant rowboat celebrate. It was
No,
tough.
I
It
think
was-
that's just funny, man. That's just
Yeah,
good
yeah,
Where did
yeah.
stuff.
all these sellies come from?
I think it's Keenan.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't even see they did that. That's just funny. No,
Yeah.
No, it was good. It was good bants.
they won. Yeah, they could do whatever they fucking want, man. That's good shit.
I was just like, oh shit. Well, because it looked like there was a. It did look like honestly both games. It looked like they got a little chippy. Was it chippy?
Not for me. I just chum it up with my guy, and that's how I like to play. I think it was, but no, I didn't notice.
Okay, I feel like that's good.
Definitely,
I'm
if Kins was
similar
here,
way.
he'd probably say the opposite
Well,
thing.
I'm
Yeah.
sure Kins was chirping.
Kins was the chippy.
Well, I know Kins was chirping, and it did. I know that it
Yeah.
motivated the Austin guys. I did hear.
It did look. Wait, Mikey, do you want to? Don't you have a wager with?
Oh yeah. So we had Grandmasters practice this weekend, and Coach Joe, I can never say his name. It's beautiful Italian name. Iannacone, I think. Anyway, we went to one of our captain's house, Steven Ruiz, for a team hangout after
Ruiz.
Saturday.
Hell
Dude,
yeah.
have you seen his house, by the way? It is
No.
the most amazing.
I've seen his flick,
Yeah.
which is super
Yeah.
sick.
I mean, he's also one of the best throwers I've ever
Yeah.
played with, for sure.
Insane. Legend.
Definitely legend. Mama Bird legend, Bravo legend, Encore legend, Walker legend, Colorado
100%.
legend. So we're just actually, they don't have big screens at their house because they're just not a screen family, and so we're
Respect.
watching on Joe's, iPhone 15 or whatever. So it's like a group of us huddled around, and after the Houston loss, I wasn't feeling like great about making a bet, but I was like, I gotta believe in the boys, and so we wagered a bottle of tequila. And of course, we go down 6-3 right away. I'm like, God damn it!
Sorry, Mike.
7-3, and then, but like when we were at 12-10, I was like, all right, I'm not gonna trash talk Joe, but I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
And he was on pins and needles the whole time. So I do owe Joe a bottle of tequila. We had joked that I should buy it for him here in Colorado, so he wouldn't be able to take it on the plane with him, and we could just keep it.
Buy yourself a bottle of tequila.
So but I'll be flying down there for Masters GM regionals. So I'm going to stay at his place. I'll buy it for him then.
Also, why am I the hockey assist king? It's so annoying.
Dude,
You really
I was
are.
looking at that.
I had
was like,
fucking 9 this weekend.
that's sick, man. That's sick. They don't show up in the
You
plus
gotta leave.
minus, but
Yeah, my plus minus is dog shit now.
Oh, you know what? This is kind of a good segue. I wanted to shout out this shownspace.com.
Oh, yeah. I have one more thing from the Austin game.
Go for it.
Maybe we cut it, maybe we don't. So speaking to refs, I have detached from refs making like bad calls or missing calls in the UFA. That's just the way it is. It doesn't really bother me that much anymore, unless they're pretty egregious. Refs not knowing the fucking rules is actually insane. And in the Austin game, the refs did not, I don't know if it was all of them, the refs did not know the rules.
how so?
And that is really frustrating. One, this is a minor one, which will lead into a bigger one. They were one of the refs was throwing the disc to the Austin players when we rolled it out.
Oh, that's just home field advantage, baby.
They were throwing it you have to walk it and set it down. They were throwing it to them.
No, this is like the ball boys in the Premier League. You think the ball boys?
But that's not a lead. That's within the rules. This is the really big one that had a large effect on the game. We turned it. Kins turned to throw to me on their goal line. Jake Reinhart picks it up, hucks it full field. we're on the cone. It goes out right away and it never comes back in. And Kuhlman does not play the disc.
Yeah, this was weird.
Kuhlman does not play the disc. Their player plays the disc, but he was out. I think he jumped from out of bounds and caught it in, so that's out. They did not know that the disc then comes in where it went out because we did not play it. So then it was on our cone, not their cone. Then they called a travel on Noah.
Yeah.
And we lost yards.
And then we turned it.
Yeah,
and they scored right away.
On the original play, Noah did complete a pass, and I was like, sigh of relief. Let's get it out of Noah's hands in this situation. And we get whistled. And then he had that bad goal line turn, which is kind of the...
And that's literally a 2-goal swing because it's either we're taking it, maybe we don't score on their cone, but then they have to work it the whole way. Instead, it's on our fucking cone. Like that is, and I think it was like 12s at this point, or it was tied. Like it's just,
it was critical. It was a critical moment.
Fucking egregious, for real. Like
that was crazy. I didn't quite even understand what was happening during.
I didn't either. I didn't have the audio.
The same ref had to get overruled by the other refs on an up-down call that they made from the far sideline that happened on the opposite sideline.
Interesting. The head ref of the league was at that game, I believe.
Also, Noah almost crashed out on that one.
Because it was obviously fucking up.
It was... I like slowed it down and tried to... I think it was up.
It's a bad throw by me. I was just like murdered, and I was... Not in the right headspace to make that throw.
Remind me what the outcome of that play was?
The one from me to Noah?
Yeah.
It was up goal, but they called it down turn.
They called it down. Yeah. And Noah almost threw the disc into the crowd.
Noah got a delay a game because he was like not giving the disc up because it was just an insane call. This was a different ref who I actually liked and I thought was good, but he got this wrong. We did score this point.
You'll accept that.
Yes.
Sort of. More
than not knowing the rules. Like he made a ruling that's okay. I know he
was
wrong.
Close. It was really close.
I know he was wrong, but it was really close. So I'm like, okay, fine. We ended up scoring that point, so it didn't really matter. But we did have to work it. They did get all the way to our goal line. We had to work it all the way back. But that's fine. It's not knowing the rules.
So help me again. The disc goes out of bounds. Or it's in the air, it's out of bounds. Defender plays it from out of bounds. That's what happened.
We didn't play it. If Noah was the defender, if he would have played the disc.
Oh, because they were on offense.
It comes in on where he played it. He intentionally, you watch him, he intentionally doesn't play it.
Yeah.
Because it then comes in, and then Noah, even after the play, is like, hey, it's up there. It's on like on film. He's like, hey, it's up there, it's up there, it's up there. They won't. And then they fucking call a travel on him.
So, and then how far, how many yards ahead would we have gotten?
I'm telling you.
I think it would have been back
cone to cone.
I'm going to find the play right now. I
was marking Jake Reinhardt on the cone.
It never came back in.
End zone. It went out right away. And if Jake is listening, he threw it and I said, oh, that's not coming back in. And he said, yes, it is. Watch. And it never fucking did. Well, I think it did, but he played it out of bounds, the offender, and that means it comes in where it went out of bounds on the cone. And they didn't.
You remember you remember what point in the game this is?
I think it's the third quarter sometime.
Are the UFA rules different?
No. That's also what I was wondering.
I didn't look it up, but Kuhlman looked up the rule after the game.
I may not look it up.
No, my boy.
Moment, yeah, that's brutal. That's a brutal one, man.
Yeah, and they ended up scoring in 2 throws.
I do have I opened the UFA officials week 4 notes. If you have questions about a specific play, you may submit that play to be reviewed by HQ using this form. So perhaps I will do that.
Send it into League Central. Get a ruling.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that was pretty disheartening.
Yeah.
And
again,
maybe that doesn't change
why we lost.
Exactly.
Definitely.
But I'm gonna complain about stupid shit.
Sure. Yeah.
People can say what they want, but I'm gonna complain.
Did you have something, Will?
No, I'm just going through the game trying to find this play real quick. But I just saw dude. That Noah Powell kid looks fast. I'm telling you.
Bro, he's fast as fuck. He's a D1 track athlete.
Yeah, that's
He's
what they were
fast as
saying.
fuck. He's really fast. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Um,
I don't know how good of a thrower he is. He didn't throw that much. I think he had a Matthew Armour on the broadcast was like, and look at Noah Powell getting an upfield pass. So that
Yeah,
leads
I
me to
did see
believe
that.
that
Yeah.
maybe he's not a great thrower. But dude, he's a really solid defender. And this is a good set. Mike, you want to talk about that stat thing, or do we want to segue
Yeah.
into like player shout outs?
we can save
Okay.
Let's do player shoutouts.
It's a good transition. Like, I was marked by Noah Powell and Mark Hankey, and they were both really good athletes, like really solid. And they had a game plan for me. Like, they just fronted me aggressively, and we couldn't hit me deep consistently, so that's an issue.
If we can't hit you deep, that's a really good game plan.
Yeah, and they were right. But like Mark Hankey, I didn't talk to Powell as much, but me and Mark were like talking the entire game, and he's a really cool dude and a really, really good athlete and a really good defender. So that was a lot of fun. And then Kyle Hankey. I mean, shout out both the Hankeys. Like Kyle's my MVP. I said it before we played them. I said Kyle my MVP like 2 weeks
Yeah,
ago.
you did say it.
So shout out them. Kyle's like he's just a fucking playmaker, man. He just makes the plays. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. He's always been super impressive to me. I feel like the first time I ever played against him was at that U24 tryout in 2018, and I definitely
I remember us talking about it after. We're like, he's making it.
Yeah, and then he didn't make it.
Did he not make it? Nope.
No, we were both like, "Whoa, that's crazy."
He should have made it easily.
He's a crazy, just like
but
his playmaker badge is definitely Hall of Fame. And the other thing I just wanted to say is like, I think the last kind of overall thing I had, and then my player shout out, but just the Texas. I feel like going away and playing a Texas team in Texas, it's with both Havoc and Soul. But like, they play in the wind all the time. They're big. They have big throws too. Like they can all. I feel like there's something to be said about like a Texas road trip playing two Texas teams in like Texas conditions, whether it's the heat or the wind. And it kind of reminded me of regionals in 2022 where you're just like, wow. Kyle maybe had 3 or 4 turnovers that game, but he also threw all the game-breaking throws in that regional final, and they beat us basically by scoring 3 or 4 upwind hucks that he just like boomed up there, and he was like the one dude who could do it. And so it was cool to see him just playing so well.
He's a great dude too, which is
I heard he's very. Go ahead. I'll talk about.
Oh yeah, he's a super nice dude. Well, and then the person I wanted to shout out was the
Potts.
The big guy who's like pretty
Nick?
old.
Oh yeah,
bro.
And he plays on hip.
Slayton D'd him, and then he caught it.
Yeah,
that's another gripe I have with this disc. All around the league, if you D it, if you don't catch it, that thing is getting caught by the other team.
Well. That guy is also giant.
But if you watch when people D the disc, it literally stays flat and just floats there. It's obscene.
It's good for the spectators.
I was also impressed with Potts. I think Potts is a solid player. He's big and he's got good throws.
Joe had some good things to say about him.
And then the low key shout out is Broadbeck on Austin, dude. He had like a quietly just fucking solid ass game. He was like a +5 with like 0 turns.
What's his number?
6.
Number 6.
Yeah, he just like didn't turn the disc and was like decently high volume for them. And had like 300 yards. And like didn't turn it.
My shout outs. I guess I'll just shout out Kyle a little bit more. Just because I heard Joe's perspective on him.
Bro.
Apparently he's also very cerebral, I think good leader, and he's not really known for, like, you think of him as just like a athletic dude, but he understands the game really well. He can come off the field and tell you exactly what happened, and he's very coachable is what I hear. He also, like, evidently he's running his track workouts on, like, right before practice, and nobody else wants to do that because, like, it's insane. So Joe will run with them, and then they have good rapport. And he said Joey Wiley's very similar. Like, Joey runs, obviously he didn't play, but I guess he runs on a track very near Coach Joe, his house. So every time he's commuting to work, he sees Joey Wiley on the track in the morning just getting after it. So
Sick.
I love that shit. And so I guess, it's good to know everybody's working hard. And if we want to compete, we just have to keep putting the work on our end.
Yeah, I think that is kind of it is interesting, especially as kind of USA Ultimate season's kind of ramping up. There's a lot of, but for those teams that have really prioritized the UFA, it's kind of the amount of prep that I think goes into being effective, like a really effective team in the UFA is pretty different, just because I think in USA Ultimate Frisbee, there's a lot more built-in breaks, and the pace of the UFA just makes it so that if you have that preparation, and especially like to work in those high turnover track meet type games, I think it really did show that they looked, I don't know, they looked well prepared. Yeah, true. Yeah, that's also true. Like a back-to-back is going to hit pretty different in the UFA. Especially on the road and stuff too, because the travel days are insane.
I did feel we were in good shape, I think.
Physically,
yeah. That wasn't too like.
No, that wouldn't be an excuse either.
No.
I just thought they looked very athletic.
They are very athletic. The heat timeouts saved me a couple of, like, one time in particular. I think I just played like 4 points in a row, and we were just getting broken. And I was like just trying to get back to the line, and they were like heat timeout, and I was just like almost collapsed. And then I think we held, and that's when we started like coming back. It was pretty funny. And then later in the game, they had a heat timeout that saved them too, so it was pretty funny.
Well, good thing they build those in then.
Yeah, well, when it's 100 degrees and awesome.
Yeah, no way. Get fried.
Cool.
Okay, so I'll maybe just give a very brief overview of this stats thing, and I won't even share my screen. But Alex Vu, longtime listener, did send us a link to shownspace.com and the Substack that sort of summarizes what it is. I think these guys are from the Shred, according to Alex, and I'll have to get their names and properly credit them. But Alex shared this with us because they've dived deeply into statistics and like value of throws, of types of throws and all of that stuff. So and they actually presented at the Sloan conference, which is cool.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, it's where, like, all the big sports analysts go to present different things. And so I'm eager to dive into this a little bit more.
I was going to say, I think Bill Simmons calls it like Nerdapalooza or something.
Yeah.
But it's dope. It's like, that's sick.
Yeah, it's really sick. Like one of the, I forget what it was called. I'm scrolling through. So like measured actual value, adjusted expected contribution is an interesting stat. Expected thrower performance and completion percentage over expected is an interesting one. So that one, so CPOE is like, let's see, compares actual completion rate to what we'd expect given the difficulty of their throws. A positive CPOE means a player is completing more passes than expected. A negative suggests the opposite. Which is like, I think like Austin Taylor had a really good CPOE, which like kind of makes it like also passes the eye test because he does throw some pretty tough like inside breaks or breaks in general and big shots. And I think they like right now, on their website, Holzmeyer is the leader of the.
I'm looking at the
MVP race.
Yeah. Except they don't pick it based off real stats. They're just like, who scored the most goals?
Is that right? I mean, I assume.
I mean, that's
no. There's like a little bit of
that they
there's
don't
a little
use
nuance to it.
They don't use this much nuance when picking the MVP. I'll tell you that much.
Well, I think that they probably do account for these their models, like the adjusted expected contribution, I think.
Yeah, it's based on the total adjusted expected contribution. So it's the MVP race, the top 5 in total adjusted expected.
I'm saying when the UFA picks it, they don't look at this in depth.
Yes.
No, these guys are doing a great job. This is how it should be picked. But when the UFA does it, they're like, "Oh my God, Jeff Babbitt. Look at this goal. He is sick." Yeah. He's amazing. He's like probably the best player, if not one of them. Like, but some of the clips they post of him making just like routine catches, and I'm like, this is one of the best players in the world and the two-time MVP. Why are we showing a clip of him boxing someone out?
Makes it look easy.
I think it is hard to measure his value. That grab,
he's
that
amazing.
deep goal that he had, where he is bodying with one guy with one arm and sealing another guy coming off his backside and then clap catches it.
He's amazing. He is amazing.
I mean, he's like a football player, basically. Like it's pretty.
He's a tight end.
Yeah,
pretty wild. Like I think there is something. There's kind of this funny, Quinn. I think you can probably relate to this, but like for us to kind of go up and get deep balls, there gets factored in like a certain amount of like verticality or playmaking ability where it's like a hard catch, but because we're good in the air, we can do that. And then for Babbitt, it's a totally different calculation. It's the same with Yacht, but it's like, they're just bigger. So it's the percentage
and they're good in the air.
It just goes up.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden it's like,
but when they make a play, it doesn't look cool. But when we make the play, it's like, well, that was fucking sick, dude.
Exactly. Dude.
It's the exact same play.
I think about that with like where I'll watch them do something and I'm like, in order for me to make that same play, I would have needed to go like max vert over a dude, like
head high, like break your neck.
Would have needed to do something super sick, and they just like are just mossing people because they're just enormous.
Yeah.
Can't teach height.
Cool. Do we want to get into like just quickly the other games and then wrap it?
Maybe. Yeah. How about I don't know. Would you guys want to just do like a result that kind of stuck out to you, and then that might be a good way to? I
think we just
go
do
through it.
The quick stick outs,
quick hit type thing.
I mean, like
because I have one. Shouts out the Portland boys! Come on,
wow,
dude,
Stop the steal. Stop the
I know
steal.
that's like when I saw that, I was like, okay, we still have playoff hopes.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
But we cannot get into the situation where we're hoping other teams lose. Instead, we just need to win. Obviously.
Yeah. No, we're not in that situation. But it was great to see. I watched the game. It was honestly a chaotic and wild affair. There's some just crazy stuff going on.
That catch that Juice has that then goes back. Do you remember that? It's like Jack Brown goes up to clap catch it.
Oh,
and he Jack clap catches it, and then he just rips it out of Jack's hands, and they call it a goal, and then 10 minutes later they're like, we got to go back.
Yeah, dude, that was
fucking hilarious.
Watching Juice out there, man, he's
inspiration, man.
Yeah, he's so inspirational. But it was fun to watch. I didn't get to see the game live, but it was sick to see the boys capture that first win under the new brand, and
Yeah.
I know that like it's also Ryan Wolf. Come on,
Yeah,
shouts
baby,
out, shouts
Colorado.
out.
Hell
He was
yeah.
balling,
So-
caught like
Yeah.
3 breaks.
Pretty cool.
Connections to us.
I
He's
don't-
not from here, but
No, but
He
he
was
was
a
in
fun
Colorado.
guy.
He was in
He was a
Colorado
yeah,
for a
fun
while.
guy.
Yeah. I mean,
But so
just looking at that
game was
one,
sick.
looking at that one, looking at Montreal beating New York,
That's
looking
the
Yeah.
other
at
one.
Havoc beating us, it's just like you gotta play well no matter who you're playing.
Montreal's had 2 really competitive games against New York,
Yeah.
coming out on top this time. That is
Oh,
very interesting.
I also watched
Insane
the
game.
end of
Shout
that
out
game.
Kevin
Did
Quinlan.
Did you
KQ?
watch the end of that game?
Dude,
'Cause
the
it
last
was
goal.
wild. Dude, the
Oh.
whole thing was wild.
I didn't watch I just saw the end.
Oh, they should have. New
Oh my
York,
God.
New York worked it all the way. First of all, New York in overtime had a chance to go up 2, and then they had a turnover so that Montreal was able to tie it, and then there was multiple turnovers again, and then New York had a chance to basically win it with like the thing where they're running out the clock, and if they score, they just win, and they they got it all the way up to the goal line, and then the guy who had the disc didn't realize that he needed to put it in like before the time expired. So
No.
they're literally on the 1-yard line, and he throws a backwards reset as the buzzer expires. And so then it goes into
What?
yeah, dude, it was crazy. And they had received in the start of the first overtime, so then they had to pull for the second sudden death
my
overtime,
God.
and then Montreal scored on
Oh
an
my
insane,
An insane throw.
yeah. And dude,
dude. I'm
and that
telling
was
you.
where the new disc is crazy because Marquez like sees the disc go up and he assumes it's going to
then
die
it just-
left, and it drops like
Just
a fucking
straight down.
stone. Yeah, right to the receiver. It was
You
crazy.
can't read it. Yeah.
It's
was
unreadable in the wind.
it was, it was
God,
hilarious.
It's crazy how many end of quarter fiascos are going on.
Oh,
It's
dude.
such a vital part of this version of the sport.
I just watched it. I just watched him. He just dumps it to JR.
Dude, it's so
the,
funny, man.
It's the Texas dude. What's his name?
Yeah, Oliver
Oliver.
Fay.
Oliver Fay. I
It's
guess he's a
like,
Boston dude. I don't know.
It reminds me of
Ooh.
like LeBron getting mad at J.R. Smith at
Yeah,
the end.
what are you doing?
Yeah.
So good.
I
yeah.
guess the other one worth mentioning maybe Union and Winchell defending champs. The fact that the Winchell could only score 11 goals is pretty crazy.
It looked
And I
windy.
actually Colin Barry, who's one of the Winchell players, was messaging me about it. He said it was embarrassing to say the least.
Oh my God,
Mm.
Will, you forgot to mention that they only had the disc on the goal line because Montreal turned it on the goal line.
Oh yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. There was multiple turns. It got all crazy. They like
Bro.
I
People
saw
just
the,
lose their minds at the when the
Well, I saw
at
the
end of
final
quarters.
result. Yeah, I saw the final result, and so I was like, "Oh, okay. So this is how Montreal must tie it up, and then
Dude.
or win." And then it was
Yeah.
like, "Oh no, they just throw an immediate turnover back to New York and
On
then-
their own 10, on their own 15.
Yeah.
And then they're
It's
literally
crazy.
on the goal line. He dumps it. Oh my God.
It was wild. I was riveted. I was.
I mean,
riveted by
that's just fun.
I'm definitely pulling this game up. Yeah, so New York had an 0-2 weekend. Like, when's the last time that ever happened?
Jesus. Boston,
Probably never.
like Boston, DC finishing 14-11 in the wind. I'm telling you, man.
But that was a low turnover game. I actually looked at the stats for that.
I know.
one a
I saw
little
that
bit.
too. I was watching it. Boston looks good, obviously.
Boston does look good.
There's not many teams that I'm looking
Oh,
at
no,
right now
there
that I know are good, though. It's like Boston, the Spiders, and the Hustle are the only teams I'm like, okay, this team is good. Other than that,
Spiders are good.
I don't know who's good. Other than that, I don't know who's good.
When do you guys play Oakland?
The 30th.
Yeah, May 30th.
Not this weekend, but next.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You want to come out? We'll fly you out and you get in the booth, man.
I'm getting ready for college natties.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I guess
Oh,
yeah, it'd be a lot of travel. Also,
Yeah.
then my surgery's coming up
Oh yeah.
June
Yeah.
5th, baby. Woo!
Let's go. Road to recovery.
Yep.
Yeah, the Chicago wind chill game is interesting.
My buddy from the wind chill did say that Don looked very good. I have not watched that game yet.
Yeah,
but
he's
I'm
good.
not surprised.
Didn't have a crazy stat line, but who cares? He looks good.
Yeah.
Who?
Don DeMarais.
Oh, the Don. And
He
then,
can run forever.
Another thing that I kind of had just thought was interesting is just like Carolina, a bit of a down year this year.
Yeah, I was
0-3 so
I was
far.
texting Saul about it actually. He texted me, said that damn Texas road trip, and I was like, yeah. and he was just saying that they're kind of just in flux a little bit, trying to figure things out, and it just kind of sounded.
Yeah, it's not too surprising to me actually. But plus, like, I think Atlanta is just on the up and up.
They're good for sure.
Well, and they're playing close games. It's not like
Yeah.
I guess they've played hard. They've played the Breeze and then Hustle twice, so that's
tough
definitely
schedule.
not an easy schedule.
Yeah.
All right, the good recap of the week. We need like a fun segment with Will that we can do regularly.
Yeah, Will and Maddie got the basketball comparison one that I think would be really cool. We got to
that'd be fun.
We got to get them on at the same time.
Yeah, it's hard to tack Maddie down. You know, he never texts me back.
You got to text him directly, I think, and even then, it's not always. Yeah.
Well, not like about this. I've just
text me. I'll text him. He texts me back.
He doesn't always text
never
me back.
Take it personally. I never take it personally.
No, you can't. You can't.
Maddie's a free spirit.
Maddie?
Yeah, exactly.
Maddie has his phone on Do Not Disturb 24/7.
Yeah.
And when he is at home, it's usually on airplane mode. So
it's so sick.
That honestly, amazing.
It's just a cool.
I couldn't do that. I need my phone 24/7.
I leave it to the kid. Yeah, he's in his zone. But I think it'd be fun to do something like the I think it'd be fun to have like a segment where it's like a moment or something, like even like that New York Montreal finish,
turning point,
like where
featuring
or
Bill Borey.
Or you could be like Kyle Hankey's toe in at the end of the quarter is like insane. Like I feel like we can come to the table with like a moment or something that stuck out to you.
Whether it's a sick play or just like a turning point.
Yeah. Or something funny that happened. Like it doesn't even need to be like
moments
the coolest shit.
Presented by BE Ultimate.
Some sort of
on Pod Practice.
Shaq No Fool segment.
Yeah. Oh, we could do positive and negative moments.
I think there's something to be said for just a little storytelling of just a funny thing that you saw, because there's also all sorts of crazy stuff that happens in these games.
I feel like nobody even knows about most of them because you can't nobody's
watch all.
Yeah.
And like Juice ripping out. Like Jack Brown literally getting a catch D,
and then
Juice just ripping it out. And
the refs are like, "Yep."
Yeah, they're like, "That's a catch," and Jack Brown's like, "What is happening?"
What is going? And he even pushes Juice after they were angry, dude.
Yeah, they got in some beef. It was crazy.
It was crazy.
It was a crazy moment.
Yeah,
rivalry week. That's what the league branded this as, and I agree. All right. Well, cool. Yeah, it's been fun, boys.
Yeah, that was a blast. Like usual.
All right. Well, I will see you in a couple days.
Yeah, here we go.
Up in Washington, and
let's go Ducks.
Quinn, I'll see you in a few hours. Oh,
yeah.
One more thing, because we were talking about the disc. It'd be perfect opportunity for me to just talk about Disc Sense.
Plug the Disc Sense.
Have I told you about this, Will?
Put it on an Ultrastar, though. Don't put it on the...
No, you can connect it to multiple.
Well, I was saying, just don't even bother.
It's a little sensor. My teammate, Luke Perkins, is part of the creation of this, and has an app. The battery life is not so great. It's a prototype, but I can attach it to multiple discs and calibrate it and get some metrics on how the disc flies, and It'll be
Oh,
interesting to compare.
is it like for disc golf discs mostly?
It's his. I think it has a disc golf mode, the app, but it
So is that
is.
like
He is an ultimate
rotations
Yeah.
per minute and like how much
So
snap?
yeah, I think velocity, pitch, angle of the disc, and rotations per second, and then touch, which is a measure of velocity
Whoa.
over spin, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You guys need to add this into the Bravo tryout component. Do some metrics,
Yeah.
do some analyses of
That's
who's
good.
the touchiest thrower. You're gonna want to take the touchiest thrower, and then
Thomas,
Will can just
Thomas Edmonds has the best like overspin soft throw you've ever seen. It's crazy. He like rips it, but it doesn't go anywhere, and it's
that's where we got to get
insane.
the metrics.
Yeah,
Now we got to get the metrics.
Totally. Yeah, this is a prototype, but yeah, I'm excited to try it, and I'll bring it out tonight, Quinn.
we should do some more like filming practice and mic'd up stuff. I think that stuff's good.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that with the sensor.
Mm-hmm.
Sick.
Cool. All right.
Sick.
Thanks, guys. Peace.
Pleasure as always.
Peace.
Later.